Greg, can you give your assessment of the defense's play on Saturday and how you guys have transitioned from that?
Well, I talked about it after the game. I kind of had a pretty good feel, and when I watched the tape, that was confirmed. So I've kind of moved forward now, and we're dealing with Army, and it's a very unique set of challenges when you play a triple option football team. It's purely discipline assignment football, and then you have to physically do your job once you do your assignment. But if one piece is out of place, it's a potential big play.
What did you reinforce with guys, though, especially after that game, that you wanted to see changed or needed to be changed a little bit, Greg? I mean, I don't know, from the way some guys played, left guys wide open, things like that. What did you address with them in that regard?
Well, it's such a different animal moving forward that we'll deal more with regular football corrections a week from now on Sunday when we get done with the Army game.
Yeah.
Then we'll get back to playing regular football. This is different. This is a totally different thing, and I think people say, oh, there's some option. Totally different. It's not like anything else we see all year. So when we make the corrections in full form, it'll be next Sunday.
What is the key this week? If there's a word, is it assignment football? That's 2 words, but I mean, what is the key you're reinforcing every day, every minute?
Well, there's really 2. You have to play assignment football, and then you physically have to make tough. You're going to get cut. You have to make tackles. You have to get off cut blocks. In a regular football game, you'll have a couple cuts. In this game, there could be 40 cuts or attempted cuts. So you really have to practice differently.
Greg, are there any young guys defensively that have not played much through the first 2 weeks that you feel are really knocking on the door are close to getting more playing time?
There probably are. But until they really show that they're comfortable, you'd rather be a little late than early because you don't want them to get in there and lose their stinger, But I think there are some guys. There's a few getting close, and we'll see as the time goes on. This game again is a special game. It's different, so this might not be one of those opportunities.
Greg,
how unique of a challenge has it been as a coach going from playing a conference game, top 5 team, and now a triple option team? Have you ever had a week like that, and how challenging and unique is that for you as a coach?
Well, fortunately or unfortunately, when I was a head coach at Rutgers, we played them either Army or Navy almost every year, sometimes both of them in 1 year. So I'm accustomed to having to do that. Yeah, so it's different, and they're a really good football team too. Triple option isn't it. They're a team that has rebuilt themselves, went to a bowl game a year ago, and they run this stuff really well. So, I can only comment on that side of the ball, but they're very proficient at it.
With some of the issues that this team's had in pass defense the first 2 weeks, do you like that you get to focus on the run defense this week, or do you kind of wish you were working on that area?
It's just we need to get better. That's really my only focus. Whatever we do, we need to get better at it. So, yeah, it kind of takes you away from what you've trained for most of the time. We trained for this triple option in the summer and, in camp. So, it's not where we just started this week. If you did, you'd have no chance to defend them.
So, Greg, what is kind of the approach for the secondary heading into this game, if not pass defense?
Well, no, you can't say that. You see, what they count on, and when they're really humming, they count on 2 or 3 big plays in the pass game where they can get the run game going, and then they get off your assignment, and then bam, they hit a pass or 2 or 3. And when they're when those teams are nationally ranked, that's what they're doing. They're hitting passes in the pass game, and and they don't always have to be pinpoint passes. If you make a mistake and you play the run, sometimes guys are running free, so that's going to be the key.
Greg, what stands out about their fullback in particular? He's y'all don't see that kind of guy anymore hardly in football, but just what stands out about him in particular? They're happy with 4 yards from him play after play.
If you do the math, they should be, right? Because 4 times 3, and they keep them all moving it down the field. He's a big dude. I mean, I don't know what he is, 230 or 230. I mean, and he's
5'9", 5'10".
really low to the ground and good balance, right? So, you know, whatever he is height-wise, when he bends down and hits you, he's down pretty low.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna have to keep their whole offensive line. I mean, they come ripping off the ball, great pad level. They have 3 seniors on the O-line, a junior, and then 1 sophomore. I mean, they're an experienced group. And you know, with this offense, I really, you know, have studied it, and because we always played it. It's a rep offense, and they can rep it all year round. You know, it is truly a read offense, and the O-line, and they're good at it.
And they leave guys unblocked like a veer. I mean, you know, like veers of the past and stuff. I mean, just how unsettling is that, do you think, for defensive players to suddenly find themselves unblocked in space, etc.?
Well, yeah, you're being read.
Right.
Now, it's not as unsettling as it used to be, because now a lot of the zone read football stuff is the same, right? I mean, people are leaving tackles unblocked, ends unblocked, linebackers unblocked. But, you know, there's all the moving parts. You know, when you look at it, the slots are motioning back and forth. And there's a lot of, we call it eye candy, to get you distracted. And really, it's coming here, you know. And the same thing in the pass game, what we were talking about. There's a lot of stuff moving around, and then they jet one up in the air.
Quarterback.
Kind of a silly question, but you talked about having to prepare for this over the summer. You talk about how it's such a unique challenge. It really doesn't affect what you guys do down the line. So what's the value in playing a team like this?
Oh, I think there's great prestige. I mean, I always enjoy, you know, for the 3.5 or whatever hours it is that we're playing, they're the opponent, and that's what they are. But I truly, and I think I, you know, join most of you, and truly appreciate what those guys do and what they're going to do for our country. So I almost feel like we need to do that at schools. You know, it is hard. There's no doubt it's hard, but heck, what they do is a lot harder than that.
Hey, Greg, I know that you said you want to focus on Army, but I feel like on 12 or 13 of Baker Mayfield's completions the other night, that the guys who caught the pass were pretty wide open. And I want to know, hey, how alarming is that for you? And is it a case of inexperience, new guys, scheme breakdowns? I mean, what is it that you saw when you reviewed the film that might have been the most alarming about what happened in that game?
Well, I addressed that after the game, and I was real clear. I said we made mistakes, and when players make mistakes, it's coaching. You know, if we got physically whooped, then we need different players. That didn't happen. We didn't get physically whooped. We made mistakes, so that's coaching. We have to coach better to make sure that they understand what we're doing, so we don't have those issues. But again, you know, I addressed that, and we will get to address it more thoroughly with our team next Sunday when we start getting ready to play that kind of offense again.
Because
Right,
Myers,
two more questions, folks. 2 more.
Urban said on Monday that guys were going from devastated to crushed to pissed to moving forward. How have you seen the players, this team, sort of go through the process of dealing with that loss?
Probably just like Coach said.
How,
you know,
was it quick? How long does it take, guys?
No, I mean, look, you come out and you fight and you work because that's what you do, but you won't get rid of that one for a while. You just got to press through it and fight, you know. It sits in your gut.
Greg, should the cut block, you've been in football for a while, should the cut block still be a part of football?
I think certain ways it should be, but there's a lot of ways I really don't believe. But I mean, look, you don't have to play a triple option team to have nasty cut blocks.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rules committee that addresses it every year, so you got to trust that. And I always said, you know, if you want to affect change, then get on one of those committees and do it. Otherwise, you shouldn't complain. And I'm not on one of those, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
How do you teach your defensive linemen to counteract that? I mean, I know you don't want to play not to get hurt, but at the same time, you got offensive linemen trying to cut out your legs. I mean, how do you teach that where you still want to be aggressive, but you don't want to get your legs taken out and you want to try and avoid injury?
Well, there's certain drills you do to defend the cut block. You know, the problem is sometimes they catch you by surprise. And it's not just D linemen, it's perimeter defenders, it's defensive backs, safeties, everybody gets cut. So we work on it, you know, and the reality is probably some guys will get cut. How fast can you get up as you're going down? That's part of it too.
How much